Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the PSS podcast, where we share real stories, real experiences and practical support from across the sight loss community and beyond. I'm your host, Sean, and I'm so glad you're with us. In today's episode, we're talking about something deeply personal and profoundly universal, the journey of welcoming new life into the world. I sat down with Robin, a mum to a 6-month-old baby, to hear about what it's been like navigating new motherhood, the joys, the challenges, and everything in between. And I also spoke with Keith, a proud new grandfather to not just one, but 2 little ones. He shares really thoughtful perspectives on becoming a grandparent. Whether you're a parent, a grandparent, or just someone who values the importance of family connection, this episode has something for you. So, let's dive in. So hello everybody, today it's a bit of a mix-up. Normally we're joined by staff of the PSS, but this week we're joined by 2 of the trustees. I've got Robin and Keith with us today. So Robin, a little bit introduction about you first, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so my name's Robin. I'm currently Vice Chair of the PSS, but I've been negating my role a bit of the last 6 months because I had a little baby at the end of 2024. So that's been a whole curveball of experiences.
Wow, okay, yeah, I'm sure we're going to dive deep into that very soon. And like I said, I'm also joined by Keith. Keith, you want to give a bit of background on yourself as well?
Yeah, so I am chair of the board of the Partially Sighted Society, and I am diagnosed as severely sight impaired now with a condition called NION. So, but it didn't stop me doing stuff. I still cycle, I still ski. In fact, it's more other issues that are problematic, like knees that are falling apart and all that kind of thing. However, like Robin, but not like Robin, in that it's certainly not the same level of responsibility. I became a grandparent just short of a year ago. Edward, my grandson, is 1 on August the 6th, I think it is, and then grandparent for a second time about 7 or 8 weeks ago. Scarla, she's called. This is from my other son, and that was on 19th of May she was born. So I've got a little baby and one that's approaching 1 and all over the place now.
So there's a bit of a theme developed already, so I think people can tell where we're going with this. So, yeah, Robin, you have just become a mother, yeah? So how old is your baby?
Kira's 6.5 months.
6.5 months.
Yeah.
Right, so there's no way of getting around it. How have you found the first 6 months of being a mother?
So I think I probably skipped over this. I'm also registered blind. My condition has been since birth. However, my sight's deteriorated slowly as I've got older. So what I'll say, it's a curveball. There's lots of that's a repeat of what I said before, but there's been challenges, but things are a challenge until they're not a challenge anymore. Until you've done them enough times and you're getting used to it, then you just sort of take it all in your stride, don't you?
Well, I think so, yeah. But it's something that I can't put myself in the shoes of, really. It's not something I can empathise with very well, but yeah. So the challenges that people with vision face, they have natural challenges.
Learning to change a nappy. I mean, even like, if you haven't got siblings that are a lot younger than you or nieces and nephews, most people, I think, go into parenthood without maybe changing nappies and that sort of everything that comes with it. And I think Keith in particular was saying that he's not he's not changed a nappy since becoming visually impaired. So
I haven't been put in that situation where I've needed to yet, to be fair. So, but whether I'd be trusted to do that, I'm not sure. But who knows? It may well happen soon.
I think you should practice with the little one rather than the big one, because the big one will be a real wriggler. Whereas the little, it's better to practice while they're still a little bit relaxed about the situation. Eddie's going to be wanting to be off and doing everything rather than having his bum changed.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, he's definitely on the move.
So. It's one of the big things. We've jumped straight into nappies, but it's one of the big worries that people have going into parenting anyway. So yeah, I didn't even think really about the challenges that we'd face with visual impairment and doing it. So is it heavily relying on...
So there is a level of vision required, but one of the biggest things is once you've opened that nappy, if baby wants to put their feet in it or their legs in it, and then you're going to get mess everywhere, you're like, how do I try to minimise this? So first thing I do is I try to get everything ready. I get the fresh... before I've got her undressed, I get the fresh nappy, 2 to 3 wipes, and if I'm out and about a nappy bag, if we're at home, we've got the bin, have that bin open and ready. And then the first thing I do with the first wipe is I wipe down and then I lay it across the bottom of the nappy. So if any feet are going down, they're not going in mess.
Oh, that's clever, yeah.
So, and mine's just started to become a bit handsy with stuff now. So it's about keeping them distracted. So the nickname for the packet of wipes is the baby weight because she's rolling too. So I just pop the nappies, the pack of wipes on her chest.
Yes.
And doesn't necessarily keep her pinned down, but it keeps her distracted enough.
A bit startled, maybe. A bit like figuring out what's going on here, what's on me here, I don't know. Or...
It's more she's playing with it now.
Really? Oh, right.
It's either playing with the wipes or sticking the foot in her mouth. They're the 2 latest toys.
Oh, it's brilliant, yeah.
So, Robin, do you use the same sort of approach I do to sort of cleaning the house or the car, in that I literally can't really see what I'm cleaning particularly well. I can't see the dirt. So I just make sure I clean everything thoroughly, whether it's dirty or not. Is it kind of the same approach?
Absolutely. If it's a particularly messy nappy, we might use half a pack of wipes. I've been known to throw her in the bath.
Yeah.
Not literally, I place her down and then maybe tip some water over the area. But it's just clean more than I probably use more wipes than a sighted person would, but at least I know she's clean, and it's better to be clean than extra clean than not clean enough.
That's true. It's a bit of a scorched earth policy, isn't it, I guess? But, yeah. Fantastic. So what other challenges or experiences have you found that are worth mentioning to people that might be in a similar situation to yourself, really?
So medicine. That's a good one, trying to get babies their doses of what they need to have, because at early stages we did have colic, which if anyone else has been out there, you all have my sympathy. Scarla may be coming up to that age now.
Yes.
So for sighted parents, it's easy enough. Bob it up in the syringe, into baby's mouth, squirt, they can see if some's come out. Also, trying to get any baby to take the medicine can be a challenge. So in the beginning, my husband was pre-dosing stuff for me. He'd put it up in the syringe, and we have medicine dummies. So it's like a little shot glass on the back of a dummy that once you give to the baby sups it, and you can hear when it's empty, so you take it away. There was one medication for the colic that we ended up trying, which was literally drops. So popping it into the bottle, it was like an eye drop bottle. And you might have other users of the society that know like how tricky it is to get eye drops out of a bottle. You really have to squeeze them. But then unless you felt it hitting you, you don't know how many you're getting. I did find doing it into an empty bottle, you could feel the sort of the drop hitting the bottom. It's very subtle, but you can feel that vibrating through the bottle, so you know you're not giving them too much or too little.
Yeah, you kind of attune to that noise, aren't you? Then, yeah, that's a really good tip for people, actually. Yeah.
Anyone having to work with minute amounts of substances, whether it's essential oils, which I have as part of my work as well, or something like a small liquid like an eye drop bottle, I always do it into an empty vessel. Do it into an empty vessel before putting whatever else is going in there.
That's brilliant. Yeah, that's a really top tip, that one. Yeah, love that. Yeah.
Feeding's interesting, isn't it? So what I've found, because obviously with one at 7 weeks old and the other one nearly a year old, so the 1-year-old for a good few months now has been on solids, and everything. Of course, this is Grandad talking here, or Grandpa. And everything's changed from when I brought my two boys up. So then it was, you had all that mushed up stuff, and now it's like they're going straight to bananas and carrots and all sorts of things that they're just eating. Yeah. And then this whole thing about choking, that's another interesting one. I don't know whether you can get into that stage where literally now the advice is when they start coughing and you think they're choking, whereas in the past would have been giving it all the bang, bang, bang on the middle of the back. It's now like, no, let them cough, let them get it out themselves, as opposed to panicking. And these are all things that have changed from my perspective. So I'm having to make sure that I don't panic when things start happening.
Yeah. There's red and loud. Let them carry on because they're practicing their gag reflex and they're getting used to it. Silent and blue. That's when you need to intervene, which is what is one of my worries. If she goes silent, if she goes blue,
you're not going to know.
I'm very aware of listening to her breathe because we started solids 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And feeding is an interesting one. There's two really key schools of thought with weaning. There's a parent-led weaning. No, sorry. There's two types of weaning. There's baby-led weaning, and then there is the more traditional version that Keith was talking about. I've chosen to go a bit more down the traditional route. It's not necessarily pureed, but it's to the texture of rice, very small mince type, small chewable stuff, but not complete puree. Just because I can then control where that food's going.
Yeah.
If I give Kira a tray full of stuff, I might be finding food for the next 3 weeks. It's going to go everywhere. Yeah. So I'm doing some level of control so I can manage it a bit better. I have given her a whole floret of broccoli to have a gnaw on like a chicken leg, but just the one.
Yeah.
I can count how many things I've given her to play with so that I can account for them later.
Yeah. It's just interesting we pointed, it's the danger signs we look out for. I'm going back to that point. There must be quite a lot of anxieties as a mother for you. So you're looking at these signs that a baby's giving you that something's not right, possibly, that you might have had to pick up on. That's quite scary, isn't it?
It is really scary. Yeah. I have to try and get through life and just not worry about them too much, because if we worry about the things that can happen, we'll just sit in a ball and curl up and not get out of bed. But no, it's definitely a key point. And one of the big ones was, as well as the silent and blue can't breathe, my husband and I did do a baby first aid course. It was something I really wanted to do before we had her, so that I was prepared on what to do if she was choking. So I feel confident in that. It's just listening and reacting quick enough if something does get stuck. But because I'm going more down the smoother foods, that's also maybe why I've subconsciously done that as well. The other thing is allergic reactions. Yeah. So I was actually giving Kira a Greek yogurt on Friday, and she was tired before I started giving her, so she was a bit whingy, which is why I was trying to feed her before a nap. And I took her out the thing, and my husband said her neck's really red. Right. And it did turn out she was having an allergic reaction.
Right.
Thank goodness it wasn't one that had cut off her airways, but he whipped her down to the pharmacist, who said he thought it was okay but couldn't see her airwaves. So then my husband ended up taking her to A&E. And now I'm a bit wary of trying any allergens while he's not in the house.
Sure.
So I'm just being a bit more thoughtful of when I'm going to try different things, because now cow's milk's off the cards.
Yeah. That colour side of things is an interesting one, because one of the things, I mean, I can see enough to see both my grandchildren, but I can't really tell what colour their eyes are. But the other one is, other people in the room and go, oh, she's her cheeks are really red, and I think, I can't tell that, and she's getting too hot or something like that, and you think, oh, I didn't realise that. So that's that side of it, but I don't know how you get around that when you're on your own.
No,
You
no.
Just get on with it, I suppose. And can you tell when she's too hot or
Yeah,
not warm enough?
and I my hearing is so attuned. I can tell when she's brought up a bit of milk or been a bit sick from the other side of the room. In the night I can hear when she's dropped a dummy. In the pitch black, which is a bonus over sighted people.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really attuning the hearing. Like I say, often I can hear her breathing. The other morning I just put my ear like to the crack in her door, could hear she was breathing. Okay, no worries, just step back, slowly go back to bed and go to sleep.
Yeah.
How's sleep been for you? I mean, this will be the same for sighted parents as much as it is with people that aren't. So how's that been?
It's been a real mixture. I have been breastfeeding Kira from start, and there is something called the 4-month sleep progression, which is what every baby goes through, where I'll keep it very simple, but sleep's just off the cards. So since that 4-month sleep progression, I've been pretty much tied to her most nights, or she's been tied to me, because the only way for us both to have a good night's sleep is if she eats, I sleep.
Yeah.
But in the last week or so, obviously, a lot of people say with starting solids, they sleep better. I'm not entirely sure that's 100% true, but I did also get some good tips off the healthcare visitor on getting her to self-soothe in a cot.
Right.
So that's hopefully we're already seeing improvements. So I've been in my bed nearly every night for some of it.
It's amazing. Yeah. So there's obviously parallels between parenting between sighted and visually impaired as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to pivot a bit. So what's you found has been your biggest joy? We've done all the negative and the scary bits, but what's been the biggest joy so far for you? And this question goes to you as well, Keith, as a grandparent as well. But I'll just hear from Robin first, yeah.
Her laughter.
The laughter.
When she started to laugh and play, it's a slight dip back to some of the anxieties. When she first started to pull facial expressions and I couldn't see them, that was a little bit sad, but now she's more vocal in them and laughing, and I can really attune to that laughter and react and do the same things over and over again. It's the best noise in the world.
You can form a better connection then, can't you? You're missing out the visual connection, but that auditory connection when you got together, that's nice, isn't it? Yeah, to build that, yeah. And Keith, what you found has been the biggest joy so far for you? Giving them back after you've looked after them, is it now?
No, I mean, one thing I would say is when you're visually impaired, and Robin and I's circumstances are different in that I came to a lack of sight late in life, so I haven't sort of grown up and got used to it. So even now, it gets me down sometimes, and you get frustrated about various things. One thing I find about having the two babies now, when we've got them at our house, or when we're down at their houses, is just the cuddling. It's like once they're in my arms and I've got them in my arms, and I just go into sort of big smile on my face. It's really relaxing. There's something really soothing about having a baby in your arms and just thinking, oh, this is fantastic. So from that perspective, that's really good. But I'd also agree with you about when they're laughing and smiling. I can see them smiling. Scarlett's not smiling yet at 7 or 8 weeks.
It won't be long.
It won't be long now. But yeah, that's the one for me.
I will share one more tip that I've found as a visually impaired parent. So Kira's clothes organisation is slightly next level because of my sight.
Yeah.
So I've got dividers in the wardrobes to separate the sizes, but I always try to we only have one size in at any time, because if I start having multiple sizes out at the same time, it all gets mismatched. And when it comes to the coat hangers, I've even got these little velvet pegs. So if there's extras that go with the outfit that don't go on the hanger, it gets pegged to the hanger. And when the outfit goes on in the wash, it goes in one of those mesh bags and is zipped up so it's not getting separated.
Yeah.
So when you come in to put it back together later, you're not having to hunt around for bits and bobs.
That's really smart.
Very clever. Yeah. Some incredible tips for any new mother with a visual impairment. Yeah, it's.
I'd say any people of any.
Yeah,
if anyone's got any outfits out there with headband, if you've got a matching headband, hat, some little booties that go with that, get a velvet peg on it.
But I think all the main tips coming from you, Robin, it's preparation. Everything's. If you're well prepared in the first place, then there's less variables to go wrong and then less messes to clean up, for instance, or less tangles to untangle, maybe. So.
That is probably really true, and that's probably what I do through most of my life is, if you're prepared, then you'll enjoy the experience more.
Yeah, and if everything's uniform, so if you've got a set routine for things as well, then things are going to hopefully play out predictably.
Yeah.
And that predictably is probably an interesting word, because it's also about predicting what's going to happen next. Because the one thing I've noticed, because obviously you've got Kira all the time, but I see Edward perhaps for a week once every sort of 4 or 5 weeks. So he's changed rapidly in that time, and you just think, wow, well, now look what he's doing. So that predictability is about predicting, right, what they're going to be doing next. And we were talking earlier, weren't we, about the fact that suddenly Kira is starting to get on the move. Edward is now all over the place. So if I've got him on my own in the room and they're all off doing something else, it's that keeping a constant eye on him, because he's going to be, if it was there a second ago and now where's he gone? So it's that side of it, isn't it?
Yes.
Knowing what to do and making sure you've cleared the room of all things that he might pull over. And
that's true.
Which I guess sighted parents have to do anyway, but...
I think, and with the preparation thing, we've probably taken everything to the next level to take those obstacles out of her way. And the only thing that we need to do once she's a little bit more mobile, we've got two 2-foot gaps to block off, and then she's got a space as big of a room that she can't do. There's no wires. There's very little for her to do damage in. It's sofas, and we've put foam mats on the floor, and it's her toys. So we've got prepared.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
That word again, prepared.
Yeah.
So what would be your main tip then, apart from preparation? What would be your main sage word of advice for somebody? It's say they're about to start a family with a visual impairment and they might have some anxieties and worries. So what would you say to someone who's successfully established themselves as a mother?
So I do have a blind friend who has been my guardian angel of advice. I mean, she's got an 8-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 2-month-old. She's only 10 days older than Scarla is. And her and her partner are both blind or both severely sight impaired. And they do it on their own. They haven't got the support. I've got a great support network around me. They haven't got their support network. I'd say find a friend, build that support network. And if you don't have any blind mum friends out there, and I'm really sorry guys, this one is sexist, but there is a Blind Mums UK Facebook group with lots of mums sharing their experiences from babies all the way through to teenagers on how they're dealing with any specific issues, and it's the place to reach out to.
And how can you find that on Facebook?
It's on Facebook, Blind Mums UK. I can try find it. Do you put links for these or not?
I will be able to, yes.
Yeah.
No, I'll put a link at the end of the podcast for people to discover that, because that could be a good resource as well.
I'm not sure if I've had to post in there up to now, but just seeing what other people write can often prompt you to think about things.
That's the thing, you don't have to be a contributor, you can just draw advice from it if you need to, So, don't be afraid to jump into groups like that and take advice where you can get it, absolutely.
Yeah.
Keith, as a grandparent with a visual impairment, have you got any advice to growing families out there and people that are going to be becoming grandparents themselves as well?
Yeah, I think just be confident. Don't be. It's quite interesting because I feel that I'm quite confident in holding both my grandchildren and moving them about, perhaps more so than even my wife, who is fully sighted. And I think that just stems back from, it's automatically come back to me from my own
muscle
children.
memory.
You've ridden a bike.
Exactly. So, I don't worry too much about holding the head really carefully and that kind of thing, because I just think they're quite robust babies, aren't they? Don't you think?
Yeah, no, they are a lot more robust than you'd say. And any sighted people out there listening to this, if you've got a parent with a visual impairment and you're worried about giving them, like having them look after your little one, I get it, maybe solo, let them be there a few times. I did that with my own mum and she can see. But please don't restrict them from getting involved, because I think a lot of people get wary around blind people and babies, whether they're of Keith's grandparent generation or my sort of becoming a mother generation. People are wary to let other like visually impaired people look after or hold or interact with little ones, and I don't think there's the need to be.
My eldest son and daughter-in-law, so this is Edward's parents, they have used this app right from the word go.
You were telling me about this.
Have you gone down that route or not?
Not at all. The healthcare visitor suggested it to us, and it was all about handover. So if it was early stages, if Alistair had her a few hours through the night and I'd got up to take over, it was about, he could have logged that information on the app so you don't have to talk to each other. Like, if me and my husband can't spend 30 seconds for him to tell me what she's eaten and what's come out the other end, then I think we're in a bit of a sad state of affairs. I'm not saying that that's the case for your children at all, but I think being less reliant on the app has made me a bit more intuitive to Kira.
Yeah.
They're great. I've heard they're brilliant for people who can't get their babies napping. But no, as someone who generally embraces technology everywhere else, I've barely had time to touch my phone, so I don't have time to input feeds and poos in naps.
I mean, it's horses for courses, and it may well work for some visually impaired parents, because looking at it as sighted parents, what it seems to have done, because they've used it sort of religiously, in terms of they log when he's gone to sleep, when he's woken up, when he's fed, etc. And it predicts exactly when they're going to need to sleep, exactly when they're going to wake up, and when they're going to feed. Seems to be incredibly accurate as well in the way it does that. So I would imagine that for people that are visually impaired or blind, they might be worrying, what's the matter with my baby at this point? Well, actually, if the app's telling you, well, it's because they need to feed now, or they want to go to sleep, and you haven't necessarily worked that out yourself, it might be helpful for some people.
Who can't see the cues of they're tired. And,
exactly.
Because there are visual cues to tiredness. Kira at least is an eye rubber, so you can I feel her hands going up to rub her eyes. But no, I do get that. And for the listeners' reference, it's probably the Huckleberry app. There is probably others out there, but that seems to be the market leader of the app that Keith's describing.
It's all new to me, cause I'm not a parent yet, so...
Oh, Sean, is there something you're not telling us?
There is nothing to report, nothing to report.
Keep practising.
That's for after the watershed, listeners.
Have you got anything else to add, any of you two? So it's quite difficult for me, not as a parent, to find the right questions.
There is one little issue that's sort of approaching the whole market, and that's accessible prams.
Right, okay, that's interesting,
So in order to navigate with a pram and a white cane, or a dog, ideally you should be pulling the pram.
Right.
And for that, you need a handle that flips over the pram. And there are only 2 prams. One's not on the market anymore, it's been discontinued.
Okay.
That's the one I ended up with. Or you've got another one that's a cheap stroller version that's not as sturdy as the other buggies that everyone else has access to.
Right, so it's a disadvantage there, definitely. And
yeah.
How in a way is it not sturdy? Is it just for build quality, or because the design itself is intrinsically makes it flimsier?
I don't want to say it's necessarily build quality. I've not used it myself. I went straight for the one I went second hand because I was more comfortable with the one that was designed for more uses. It's what you'd maybe buy an older child rather than your travel system.
Right.
It's a budget. It is a budget push chair.
Right. Yep.
So I don't want to make assumptions on the cost of something not being as good, but as a parent, that was my concern. I didn't want to go down that road, especially when the second-hand one actually did cost less than the other one.
So getting out and about and being mobile with your child. So how does that go around? So if you want to get, say, I don't know where you're taking it at the minute, but if you need to go somewhere and you have to take her with you, what's the process there?
So I do have the pram,
Yeah.
and I am going to use it as the pram tomorrow. However, I have preferred to use a sling, and for that I went to our local sling library, which is the Sheffield Sling Library. They are nationwide, and tying her to me, like, she sits on my front, gets all wrapped up.
Yeah.
She enjoys that person-to-person contact, and it means that it's much more stable. I'm not having to worry about my hands aren't full without even starting, because if a buggy's behind you, a cane's in front of you, you're already you're not carrying anything else.
I was going to ask about the cane, so you're just like, you need a hands free as well, and then if the phone goes, you need an extra pair of hands as well, so it's practicality wise, it's a bit of a nightmare. But...
Yeah, I have the pram for when I need it. Like I said, I'm going to see my friend tomorrow, and for different reasons I am taking the pram with me tomorrow. But no, generally my choice would be to wear
a sling. Yeah.
That's interesting. I was going to say the same because my daughter-in-law Hannah, so when they come up from Kent, she likes to walk every day herself, not just not just with Edward. And so when they've been up, we've gone for a walk sometimes, and Brecken, my son, he'll be working because he works from home. So we've gone for a walk, and she's put the sling on me, and I've had Edward on my front, and we've walked to the pub and down the road and stuff, and that's worked fine. The only thing I would say, but this again would be, I guess you'd get used to this the more times you did it, is getting all the straps right and where all the clippies are and everything else to get it. If I was doing that on my own, that might be a little bit trickier. She actually helped me to put it on and take it off.
Yeah.
I guess you would be used to that, doing it yourself.
So as part of the Sling Library service, you go for a consultation. It did cost a fee, but it was relatively an expected fee. Yeah. And we had a 1 hour session with a sling expert helping us pick the right one and then showing us how to fit it to ourselves.
Right.
And now when I see most other slings, even though I've not used them, I can generally figure it out because of that 1 hour session. Yeah. So it's...
That's good.
It's something that sighted people and non-sighted people are using more. It's a preferred way of getting around in other cultures.
Yeah.
The pram thing is very westernized. So no, it's a good method to use, and I tell you what, it's a magic sleep machine. If you've got a baby that's not napping, you put them in the sling, and if colic, it's great for that too.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you, Robin, which I don't think this will be the case yet with Kira, because I don't think she'll be old enough, but you may know this from your friends that you talked about. At what point does the child become aware that mummy or grandpa can't really see that well and start to become a little bit aware of that and become independent themselves in terms of helping you?
I'd say it would differ per child. I can't say I've ever asked my friend that direct question, but I do have nephews, and we maybe see them once a month. And I'll be honest, even the 6-year-old now, he's showing me stuff, and we're still having to remind him that I can't see what he's showing me. Yeah. So, but the 10, 11-year-old, usually my husband's there, and if my husband's there, I'd always prefer my husband, but the 10, 11-year-old will guide me to something if I need to be guided somewhere, if in an unfamiliar setting. Yeah, right. I think Kira will obviously get it a lot younger than the 6-year-old because we're having that daily interaction. Yes. Yeah. But great thing about kids, and especially babies, a lot of their toys are sensory. There's no reason you can't get involved. Get some train sets built.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I've still got the scale electrics up in the loft.
Oh,
So.
yeah. Never too old for that. That sounds great. Yeah.
I've got Kira her first blind Barbie ready. Mattel brought out the blind Barbie
Really?
just after we found out she was having a girl. After we found out we were having a girl, so I saw it as a sign to order it.
Oh, yeah, it came out last year, I think, didn't it?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Can I thought of everything?
She doesn't want it. I'm sure it'll be worth something in 20 years.
Well, if you keep it in the box, yeah.
It is, yeah.
That brings us to the end of this episode. I really hope you found it helpful, reassuring, or comforting to hear from Robin and Keith, and the different ways they're embracing this new chapter in life. If you'd like to find out more about the support we offer here at the Partially Sighted Society, or if you have any questions at all, you can visit our website www.partsight.org.uk. That's partsight.org.uk. You can also give us a call on 01 302 965 195, Monday to Friday, 9:30am till 4pm. And that number one more time, 01 302 965 195. We're always happy to help however we can. Thanks so much for listening, and until next time, take care.